What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I've got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life.
Beautiful life.
Happiness, you know, it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day, and don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
It's not about the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I've got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. And now we all been blessed to be here, so it ain't no need for stress. We don't worry about the things that we can't control. We just pray and hope for the best. You don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need no fancy car. You ain't gotta be famous or a movie star.
Hey everybody, today is December 17th. We are 1 week away from the big fat man coming down your chimney to bring you some goodies, toys, and whatever else you want on your wish list. As you notice, I have something in my hand. I work for the best station ever. They won the Internet Radio Station of the Year from the Titan Arts Award for Internet Radio Station of the Year goes to Listen Vision Live. Now, see, I'm treating this like my own academy. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, all the countries that is tuning in right now, all of my listeners, all of my guests. So this was a collaborative effort, and we have the best station manager ever. Congratulations to Jeremy. And this award is shared amongst all the shows that's on the station. Now, I have a lot going on today. So this week, I met this wonderful woman named Yvette, and she has some organic body products. And today, she is giving away a $100 people, $100 gift certificate for her products. All you need to do, starting right now, is tweet whoever has the most tweets during this hour, and the tweet is hashtag We Be Swangin with @BSwangin Webster. How easy is that? All you got to do is hashtag We Be Swangin with @BSwangin Webster. And whoever has the most tweets, I will tally them up this evening, and you will see a tweet with your name in it if you won the $100 gift certificate from Miss Yvette. Let me tell you, these products were so good. I bought some last week. Put them on Saturday. And when I tell you that the men were trailing behind me like puppies, it was like, it smells so good. Bernie, if you are looking for a gift for Maggie, you need to get online to www.miraculousscents.com because these body butters and sprays, and they're all organic, and so it's all natural, but they smell heavenly. When I tell you, I couldn't stop smelling my own self. Like, I was doing like this all night long because it was like, oh my God, I smell so good. If it was real food, I probably would have been licking my hand like a pixie sticks or something because I smell so good. I walk into work now and people are like, oh my God, what do you have on? And I'm so proud to say that Yvette, I met her online. She has these marvelous products. And just so you know, Yvette, the two people that I got those body butters for last night, I couldn't even get my coat off today before they were in the office talking about, did you get them? Did you get them? I mean, you would think I was the crack man or something because they were in my office and wouldn't leave until I got my coat off and was able to take it out because I forgot them in the car. So I had to go run back out to the car because it was getting ready to be a problem in the situation. I had told her last night if I didn't remember these body butters for these women that they were going to lose their mind. And let me tell you, it was almost a riot. So today, I'm going to take a real quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to introduce DB Corey. But we have a special Christmas message from Miss Penny Clover Peterson, and this is where this segment is sponsored by.
Imagine, it's Christmas. You can feel it in the air as you take a brisk morning walk to clear your mind and get your day started. What could go wrong? Well, you could find a blood-spattered body lying by the side of the road. In Roses and Daisies and Death Oh My, Sisters Daisy and Rose Forrest did just that. And when Daisy's ex-husband, Detective Bill Green, shows up to investigate and tells them to go home and butt out, well, you know the game is on. I'm Penny Clover Peterson, and I invite you to join Daisy and Rose as they follow the clues to catch a killer in Roses and Daisies and Death Oh my first novel released by Intrigue Publishing. It's the perfect Christmas cozy for the mystery lover on your list.
And we thank Miss Penny Clover Peterson. If you know a reader on your list that loves cozy mysteries, this is one you need to pick up. So today on the line, I have Mr. DB Corey. Welcome, Bernie. I call him Bernie, but his name is DB Corey. And I have my most favorite picture up of you because I just loved you in this jacket and this purple shirt. How have you been this year with your new novel coming out? How's it been for you?
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm glad you like the shirt. I like the shirt.
So
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. You know, I'm all flustered because Christmas is right around the corner, just like everybody else. Too much to do and not enough time to do it.
Well, that's true. So have you now here's the all-important question. Have you finished your shopping for your lovely wife?
Yes, all I do is get money.
That's always the perfect gift because then we can go out and get whatever we want, and then you don't have to look at that, that look that we give you like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, because we know we're going to go back on the Friday after Christmas to go exchange it for what we really want. So money is always a good thing. So
yeah.
Tell me a little bit on how this year has been with your novel being out.
Well, it's been out, let's see, August of 2013 was the launch, so it's been out about a year, a little more than a year and a half, a year and a quarter, and it's doing well. I can't complain. It's getting out there. People, actually, are gathering around my Twitter site and my website and my Facebook site, so it's nice. I'm enjoying it very much.
So let me ask you, have you gotten any fan letters yet or fan tweets yet?
Right away, initially there was a couple of gals that just loved the way the book flowed and they liked the idea, and they contacted me early on. Not so much lately. I guess people get busy, but I have a couple of what you would call die-hard fans, and it's nice. And I should probably send a Christmas card to both of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? 2 is better than 0, right? I always say 1 is better than none, and 2 is better than 1. So, hey, you're doing really well. So, what is it that you can see? What is it that you plan on doing next? Now, I've read the book. I love Truax, and I always ask you the question. I think I asked you first. Was Truax you? Because he was an older gentleman, and first of all, I didn't believe your age when you told me, and I'm not going to say it on the air, but I didn't believe your age. So then it was hard for me to try to figure out if you really were like could identify with Truax. Well, so do you identify with him other than just the age?
There's some characteristics that Moby Truax has that came from me. He shaves his head. His eyesight is dwindling. Those sorts of things. You know, he's an older cop, and he's dealing with the ramifications of growing older, and he still has to do his job, which gets increasingly more difficult with with the years as they pass. So, if in a way he is, there's a little bit of me in there, but not too much.
Now, have you ever? Because Truax is on the case to catch a maybe serial killer, maybe copycat. So have you ever really wanted to go into the investigative field?
I don't know if I've ever wanted to actually do it myself, but boy, I have a lot of fun reading, mystery novels, thriller novels, and watching, the TV shows that come on, on a regular basis, trying to figure out who the bad guy is. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I'd never get them. So I would be a terrible police officer.
So, well, what is one of your favorite, or one or two of your favorite crime dramas that you just absolutely have to see, every week?
There was a show out a year or so ago called The Killing. It was a one-time kind of a serial TV series that went through, I guess, maybe the fall. I thought it was excellent. It was great. There was twists and turns built in, and the characters, I can't recall the name of either of these characters, but they were flawed. They had their problems, and that's what I think a good character has. Short of that, I guess anybody on the, Law and Order. I liked all of those cops that were on that series. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I get a lot of my influence from.
And I was going to ask you, so when you're watching these shows, do you think that you can take a little bit of the show and put a different spin on it? Because as writers, we always play the what if game. So do you ever play the what if game with any of the crime dramas that you like to watch? Do you say, what if it wasn't him, but someone else?
Not so much the crime dramas or the cop shows, more the evening news. I watch what's going on. Let's face it, there's more crime than we can possibly handle. And I get a lot of inspiration from that, to be honest.
Okay. So now, is there anything in the news lately that you might want to take and put into a fictional story to try to solve the mystery or the crime?
Well, what I've done, it's interesting you asked that question. What I've done, the new book I'm working on now is the second in the series for Moby. I wasn't going to do Moby as a series character, but I got a lot of requests for it. So I said, well, maybe I'll go and write another book and put him in. So I have to move him along a little bit in age and years, because in Chain of Evidence, he was actually facing retirement. Okay. With Maryland State Police. So I had to get him out of that and into something else. So I've done all that, and I'm working an issue. And Maggie actually pointed this out to me one time. There was a news flash she saw that came out of California that was kind of interesting. She said, "I think you could do something with this." So that's kind of what I've done. I've taken that concept and I'm massaging it a little bit. Okay. To make it work for Moby. So plagiarizing right from the TV shows is not something I do. But I go to the newsreels and the news broadcasts and see what I can do with them.
Now, you mentioned Maggie told you about this story idea. So does Maggie bring you a lot of ideas? For those of you that don't know Bernie, Maggie is his lovely wife and the cute little elf in his commercial. So do you find that does she bring you a lot of ideas as to, hey, Bernie, maybe you need to do this, or DB, maybe you need to do that?
Yeah, she does. Sometimes I listen. but when she has a good idea, she has a good idea. There's no two ways about it. So those are the ones that I jot down and I start to think about.
And so is she your first beta reader?
No, Maggie never reads my stuff.
Really? Wow. Okay. So do you
says-
have a group?
She's seen parts of it. She's seen scenes, and she goes, "If this came out of your brain, I don't want to know anymore."
So do you have a group of beta readers that tell you, yes, you're on the right track, no, don't do that, or rewrite that?
You know, there was a time, I think you may remember, I told you about my very, very first novel. It was the worst novel ever written, ever. I was doing that a lot. You know, I'd write a couple of chapters and show it to some people and say, "Hey, what do you think?" And then, lo and behold, 2 days later, I'm changing those chapters.
Okay.
So I never show them anything until that first draft is done.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
actually, it's not even the first draft. It's the second draft. I don't know if you've read On Writing by Stephen King, but I subscribe to his school of writing where he writes two drafts, separates them by about 6 or 8 weeks, and he doesn't show anything to anyone until the third draft is finished.
Okay.
And that's the way I do it. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Okay.
But, it's fairly polished by then.
Okay, yeah, and you know, because when you sent in your manuscript, it was pretty clean when you know Intrigue looked at it, and it was so funny because I remember meeting you, and I remember saying to you, "Do you write?" And you was like, "Yeah, but I write, and I don't want to do anything with it. I'm not quite sure." And it was like, "Why?" Because let me just tell you, when I read the first chapter in your book, I had to go wash my hands. I was like, no. And I got up and went and washed my hands, because I felt like it was so real that I couldn't believe that I was reading it. It literally, and I am as scared as a cat on a roof when it comes to, that's why I will never watch anything from Stephen King. I won't even read anything that's not fiction of his because I'm too scared. But your writing style put me in the mind of that, because it was like I literally, when I threw the book down, I was scared to pick it back up because it was like, okay, what's going to happen? But I wanted to read it, but then I didn't want to read it, but I was too scared to read it. So I read it in literally 3 hours. Read the book in 3 hours. Couldn't sleep for 3 days, but read it in 3 hours. But that was such a great book. Look at here, people. If y'all need a book and y'all know people that love thriller books, you need to get D.B. Corey's Chain of Evidence, because the twists and turns that go on in that book will have you wanting to go wash your hands. I'm just saying. So you said that Moby, you put him in another situation so that he could be a series. Now, how many books do you see in this series? Because Moby was pretty old. So I can't see it being more than maybe two more books, maybe.
Well, that's the nice part about being a writer. You can keep your characters as old as you want them to be.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to advance him a little bit here just to get him past his retirement age. But after that, I can hold him in place. A lot of characters never age. I mean, oh God, look at Lee Child. Jack Reacher, he never gets older. He's always the same age.
I know.
He's been writing books for 17 years.
You would think he would have one gray hair by now, just one.
So, how cool is that?
Or at least be losing his hair. I mean, to have a head full of hair, shouldn't he be like 80 years old right now? Like, right. He should be something right now.
Even Lee Child, I saw him on an interview one day on Face the Nation. He said his character never changes. And, it's almost like breaking the writing rules. You want your character to change throughout the course of the novel. He says his never changes. So he breaks the rule, but he gets away with it. And that's great, I think.
Well, and if you really look at daytime television, I don't really watch a lot of daytime television since Victoria Rowell, who I had on the show last week, is no longer on Young and the Restless. I don't really watch daytime television anymore. But anyway, when I did, those characters went from they had a baby in August, and then in January they were a teenager, and then next August they were a full adult. So you could skip ages and then keep them the same age, because now I think on Young and the Restless, Victor is still the same age as he was. I mean, he keep having birthdays. They keep bringing out birthday cake once a year, but they never really say how old he is. So my thought is, I always thought Victor was a vampire anyway. So in a book, I don't think that it would be that far-fetched that even if you just jumped him up in age in 5 years, that he stayed there for 5 novels. Because again, you can do, I mean, yes, it may be breaking some rules, but I don't think it's breaking a whole lot of rules. So tell me, I think I know almost pretty much everything about you. But tell my...
Well, you don't know everything.
Okay, that's what I'm getting ready to ask you. So tell me 2 things that I don't know about you. That would be interesting. That I would be like, what? You do that?
It's interesting you ask that, because I think somewhere in my past, you said something to me that said basically along those same lines. It was a kind of thing that says, what's fun? What's fun about you? Mm-hmm. So I couldn't think of anything that was fun about me. So I asked Maggie, and Maggie sent me something back the next day. She said, well, you dance when you vacuum the rugs.
What? Wait.
Before Maggie and I got married, I was a bachelor, and she'd come by, on a Saturday morning, and I'd be cleaning the house, and she'd just come in the door, and she said, "You dance when you sing. When you vacuum the rug." So
what do you?
I have the stereo blasting, so I can hear it over the vacuum cleaner.
So what do you dance? What is the favorite music that you like to dance to, Bernie?
The old style R&B,
really?
The Otis Redding, the James Brown, the Wilson Pickett's. There's something else you don't know. I played in a rock band when I was a teenager.
Get out of here! What?
Yeah.
Okay, see, Bernie, you're holding out on me. You've been holding out on me, Bernie.
How old am I? No, you can't tell me.
No, I said you're holding out on me. Here's the thing. You know the shoes I wear. Now, these shoes are made for dancing, Bernie. So the next time you see me, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I have some Otis Redding or some James Brown in my phone, and hey, I'm gonna break out the music and we gonna just dance and just have a good time. I'm not gonna have no vacuum, so you can hold my hand like it's a vacuum and swing me around, because I learned how to hand dance, so that's a good thing. So we could be hand dancing. Just treat me like the vacuum. Just don't push me out too far. I'm not gonna pick up nothing, but go ahead. I mean, I might. My shoes are so cute though. I might. You never know what I'm gonna do in these shoes. But
we'll call that a date.
Call that a date, Bernie. So I want to thank you for joining me. This evening. I'm so happy that you were able to come and do this. I've been trying to get you on the show for a while, and I'm so glad that you could do it right before Christmas. And if people have not finished that, those last minute gift ideas, hey, books are a great office party gift. So make sure that if you have an office party that you need to go to, pick up D.B. Corey's Chain of Evidence. I'm telling you, you are not going to want to put this book down. And DB, you are on Facebook.
I am, and every other social media outlet I can think of.
Yes. So and make sure Twitter. He's on Twitter, DB Corey, just like you see his name on the screen. And make sure you visit his website, www.dbcorey.com. I want to thank you for joining me, Bernie, and I wish you and Maggie a very Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Sandra, and you have a great holiday season, sweetie.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, when we come back, we are going to have on the line with us Cerece, Rennie Murphy, and hopefully she can hear me, but we're going to have a quick commercial break first.
I can hear you.
Cerece Rennie Murphy brings you action, mystery, and romance in her Order of the Seers trilogy. The Order of the Seers introduces a new breed of people who can see the future and their epic battle for freedom. The Red Order reveals the hidden motives behind the group that seeks to enslave the Seers. In The Last Seer, A new enemy arises, and the seers must push their ability to their limit in an effort to save the human race. Read the Order of the Seers trilogy from Cerece Rennie Murphy.
And this intro. So, and I would like to introduce you all to the author of these 3 great novels, Order of the Seers, Miss Cerece Rennie Murphy. Thank you for joining us today, Cerece. I've been looking forward to this for so long. How are you doing this holiday season? Uh-oh. Did I lose you, Cerece?
Am I
Oh,
giving you too much feedback? Can you
okay,
hear me?
no, I can hear you now. How are you this holiday season?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. So let me get right into it. Because it is so wonderful to talk to you, and every time we see each other at an event is always really good. Now, most of the sci-fi writers that I know are men. What made you decide that you wanted to write sci-fi?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I, too, have been really looking forward to this, and I'm excited to be here. I didn't think about it at all, honestly. I just think I did what I wanted to do, which I think women are great at. So
Okay.
I just thought, well, heck, I got a story. I feel privileged and blessed to have it, and that's it. I think, in professions and areas where there are lots of men, that just means we're more needed.
Okay.
You should get on in there.
Yeah. I'm not as creative as that. But now let me ask you another question. Because you took on a series. You wrote a series of novels. Now, is this something that this series that you wrote, is this something that you had always thought about? Or is this something that just came to you and you said, you know what, let me see if I can do one? Or did you know that it was going to be a series when you did the first one?
Oh, wow. Not at all. If I had known that this was going to be a series, I would have been freaked out and wouldn't have started the first. Is the truth of the matter. No, when I got the idea for Order of the Seers, I was washing the dishes. I had never written a full-length story, but I've been a sci-fi lover since, I watched Star Wars in the theater with my mom.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe it. I was just so excited. I had just finished my first short story maybe 6 months before that, and again was thinking I would not write. I should back up. I never intended to be a writer to begin with. I've always loved reading. I've loved stories, but I always told myself I didn't have the attention span to be a writer. I didn't think I could write anything longer than maybe a couple pages.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote poetry. So to have a sci-fi story, a genre that I love, just pop into my head while I was washing the dishes was just this incredible experience on its own.
Well, first of all, I need to know what kind of dish soap were you using that caused you to think of a book that you needed to write? That's the dishwashing liquid I need to start using.
That's so funny. We need to have like a commercial spot.
I know.
You Dawn, you will write sci-fi.
That is actually a great commercial.
That is so sad. Yeah, I don't know if it was Dawn. It was something. It was something powerful. I think it was something. You know what? I'll bet it was an organic, no chemicals dishwashing.
Okay.
liquid. There you go.
Okay.
See right in the creativity, goodness just seeps right in.
So now you said that you wrote the first one. Now, when you wrote the first one, you didn't think that was going to be a series, but then how did it turn into a series? Because I'm telling you, they are fantastic.
Thank you so much. So I went from the dishes, and I had this story idea in my head, and I just thought, okay, well, I'm going to see if I can write this thing. About halfway through, I think once I finished the story outline, I kind of knew it might have some tentacles for a longer story.
Okay.
But I couldn't process that in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So about halfway through writing book, I was like, okay, this is going to take long, one book to finish. And then I went back, completed the story out, had sketches for the other books, and that kind of happened. Then I was already, it's too late to be freaked out. You either tell me or you're not. And at that point, I was a story, and so go. I was it for 2 more books.
And so how did you come up with the name? Like, is that a sci-fi fantasy type thing, like Order of the something or another? Is that something that is in the sci-fi fantasy community, to have seers or something like that? Or was this just something that just popped in your brain after you got your hands dried off from the dishwashing liquid?
Believe it or not, the title did pop into my head. I had the main characters' names. I had strong plot lines already sort of in my mind, and I had the title of the book. And so later, I realized that not only is Order of, very popular in this sci-fi fantasy genre in general, but seers is actually a term that is ancient and was used in biblical times. Really?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now, let me ask you, because when I first met you, it was at the event with Sharon Lucas.
That's right.
And
Black Readers and Writers Rock.
Black Readers and Writers Rock, and Black Readers and Authors Rock. Now,
Authors, okay.
The what happened was you had a computer screen sitting on your table. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was across the room, and I just glanced over, and I saw an eye blinking at me, which was a little disconcerting at first. And I'm like, first I didn't know what it was because I really couldn't see that it was a monitor. All I could see was a blinking eye. So I got up the courage to walk over, and then it was just this blinking baby blue eye. How did you come up with that?
Oh, wow. Well, that was the trailer for the first book. And the eyes in the book, if you look at the book covers, the eyes are very significant. I mean, they're supposed to be the windows to the soul, but there's also this idea of, seer and the eye seeing and, seeing more than sort of the visual field, but seeing, sort of the spiritual and the future as well, the spiritual field in the future. So when I was looking for images for the trailer, the eye and just kind of playing with that idea of sight just kind of seemed natural. And I was very fortunate enough to go to iStock and find this amazing footage of this eye transforming. And I thought, well, I got to use that. So,
I mean, and how did you decide on a publisher? Did you do the whole query letter and waiting for years? Because from start to finish, how long did it take you to write these 3 novels?
Each book took about a year.
Okay. So from the process of your first book, did you think, let me look at doing a query and sending it out and seeing what's going to happen? Or did you know that you wanted to go with a smaller press?
When I the first book, I read it over, I realized, this could make sense for more than just me. I sent out about 20 queries. Really, at the time, I was thinking I didn't have the time to self-publish, and self-publish is my own thing. I don't try to in for a long time. We used to be neighbors, actually. Mm-hmm. And I walked for a couple of days, just hustled.
Is that her phone?
Incredible. And I thought, God, kid and a baby on, like, there's no way I can do what Trice. So let me try a traditional publisher. So I sent about 20 series. I promised myself I'd send out as J.K. Rowling before I gave, and she was rejected. She got over 100 rejection letters. As it turns out, my patience and it's not bad. I sent about 5, and I was just like, why am I waiting? Mm-hmm. Am I waiting for permission to tell my story? I could just give myself permission.
Wow. Okay.
And that is a process that evolved over, getting a lot of encouragement from my family and other people. And after the 25th, United year back or whatever, I thought I'm going to do this myself, which was terrifying, which is why I gave myself 3 months from when I decided to actually publish my book, which is a cautionary tale. Don't do that.
Okay.
That is stupid. And, but I think I did it because I was worried if I didn't just go for it. Because I was really scared, and I thought that a traditional publisher would kind of save me from all the marketing and anything that wasn't writing. Didn't want to do. I didn't know how to do it. I was scared. But, I learned, and now I'm so grateful to have gone through this journey.
And so now I know you're taking a hiatus because I follow you on YouTube, and you did a video, right? I think before Thanksgiving, where you had this huge stack of to be read novels.
Oh, yeah. And that's just part of it.
Hey, we are all, being authors, we have all of these aspirations that we're going to write the book, and then we're going to get it out, and then we're going to sit back and relax and take a little break and do some reading, and that never happens. So I'm in the same boat. I am coming up on a 2-week vacation, and literally I am going to get through my reading because I love to read, and that's my relaxation before I jump into the new year, because I have another book coming out in April. So are you sticking to, I'm not going to do any writing, I'm going to get through that massive to-be-read stack of novels, or do you find yourself picking up your pencil or going to your computer saying, I'm just going to write a couple of paragraphs?
Now, see, you're making me confess stuff. You're making me, now see, I'm about to mess up right here on the show. Heck no, I haven't taken a break. I'm working on 2 books right now.
See, authors know. We're like psychics.
Right.
We see, because you know why? Because the book, even though we say we're going to take a break, a book never will allow you to take a break. So tell me, what are you working? Are you working on another sci-fi fantasy novel? Or are you going to try your hand on something else?
Well, I have my next sci-fi series is a 2-part sci-fi thriller set in outer space. I have that outlined already. But right now I'm working on an adventure book for my son. He has been patiently waiting almost at least 7-8 months ago. He said, well, Mommy, when write me, because he can't read my book. And I said, okay, I'm right. So I came up with the story out, and he's approved it.
Okay.
So I'm on chapter of a 5-chapter adventure book. And the exciting thing about it is my son is a good reader, though he doesn't like to read. But he's really into action adventure, but a lot of action adventure isn't written for a first or second grade.
Right.
You get to more mid-grade stuff when you talk about adventure. I'm trying to write an adventure for 6 or 7-year-olds so that they can actually get through it by themselves or with a little help.
Okay, so do you foresee yourself making that a series as well?
It could be, absolutely.
Okay.
I've got the idea for a second book, but right now I'm just trying to get through this.
Okay. And I just want to remind our viewers that we have that Twitter contest happening right now. And the Twitter contest is We Be Swangin with @BSWangin Webster. So remember now, Cerece, I don't know if you heard it, but I'm giving away a $100 gift certificate for some wonderful organic body products. When I tell you that this stuff, the body butter in itself smells so good. And I know that, as mothers, I'm a grandmother and a mother. So as both, and as you as a mother, I know we like to do things organically and try to be as healthy as we can. These products, I'm just going to tell you, your husband, You're not going to be able to keep them off you if you get these products. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there. Yvette, I know you're listening. I know you're watching. You done started some stuff with this body butter that you have, Miss Lady. You got a winner on your hands. So she's giving away a gift certificate, and it's great for last minute shopping. So, just tell your husband, these miraculous scents is what it's called. And when I tell you that I use the pink sand, ooh, honey. Whoa, yeah. I could see into the future, and I think a husband is coming my way. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that'll make a man fall in love with you. Either.
Oh my goodness.
In the beginning, you need that. And the room freshener, oh my gosh, it's organic, and I spritz it once, I still can smell it. And I did it on Sunday. I walked into my room yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, I can still smell it. It is strong, but it's not overpowering. So I just wanted to get that out there. So remember, if you're still trying to get that gift certificate, is We Be Swangin, like right above me, We Be Swangin with @Swangin Webster. So that's the Twitter contest happening. So let me ask you, when you write these books for your younger son, are you going to do the illustrations yourself, or are you going to try to find someone that can put pictures to your words?
Oh, absolutely. I have to find someone because I can't draw. I mean, stick figures. That's the extent of my ability. So,
well, hey, sometimes them stick figures, you can make your message conveyed through a stick figure. I can't even draw that because I can't even draw a straight line. And I can't draw a straight line. And here's one little known fact that no one knows about me. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler. Now, isn't that some stuff? Now,
no, I'm right there with you. I understand how that happens.
I don't even know how, because I'm like, I lined, you put the ruler, the ruler is straight anyway, but then as soon as I pick the ruler up, I'm like, how's the line crooked?
No, but you gotta crooked? Straight. You think it's straight, not straight. You don't know until after the line is on, and somebody's like, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. And you know what I do? I color right like it is. It'd be like, what's going on here? I'm like, look, the paper was crooked. I will never blame my own self for it, okay? So,
good for you.
See, good for you. That's the rule of, hey, I'm a good author. I didn't say I was a good drawer. So,
of course, it's strong with you.
Exactly. And, when you're drinking wine and rum, that don't help either. So, in 2015, what do you foresee coming up? Is this when you're going to try to get your children's adventure book published?
Yes, it definitely will be out this year. We're going to have a little testing period where I share it with some folks, and they can read it to their kids and see whether or not it works, because I've never written a children's book before. Okay. So I want to do that first, and then hopefully we'll take that feedback and have it out by spring, summer. But I'm also working on a love story. Oh. It has a little something to it. It's a love story through time. It's about these two souls who keep encountering these challenges that keep them apart. And it's a love story in 4 parts where you see 4 different situations. They come together and something still keeps them apart. But, it's going to end well, because after I was editing the book in order, and my characters in order the series are all in peril. Said, you know what? I want to write a romance. I want to write a story all out of me. I want to write a love. And so I'm getting that, and I'm actually that, and I hope it's out.
So now, are you going to make the romance novel a series as well?
No, I think this is just a standalone book. Okay,
so now, do you foresee that coming out in 2015 as well?
Yes. I'm already working on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to. This is the one I'm trying to take a break. Just come to, and
no break for you. No break for you. No.
It doesn't matter.
Done. Yeah. Because you don't need rest. You got kids, and you got a husband, and you got a home, and and you need to be writing. We don't need any extra free time, because clearly you get your inspiration from washing dishes. Now, I got a dish, a sink full at my house. If you feel like coming over, I'm not going to make you write the book. I'll just give me the idea that pops into your head. I'll even supply the dishwashing liquid.
There you go. There you go.
So
I'll be hired out.
There you go. Hired help, and just for book titles. So do you outline? I heard you say that you outline. So are you a strict outliner? You stick with it no matter what, no matter how it's going to go? Do you stick with your outline or do you deviate some?
I pretty much stick to the outline, but if something comes up and it just, like, for example, I outlined 16 chapters for Order of the Seers, The Last Seer, the third book. The book's 22 chapters. So sometimes it takes more time, sometimes it takes less time. But in general, the stories follow the outline pretty closely. Not because I'm making them, but because I really try to listen to the characters in the story up front.
Okay.
So that they've already told me what they want to do. And if I want to deviate, usually that's my idea, and then I get vetoed very quickly.
Okay.
My characters. They're like, no, we're doing this. We already told you.
Right.
Get on with the program.
Right.
That's usually what happens. But the outline helps me to focus because, I have 2 young kids. We've all got a life and jobs and all that good stuff. And, when I sit down at the end of the day or whenever I can to write, I don't need to be thinking about, okay, what chapter, what's happening, where am I? I can go to the outline. I know what the objective is for chapter 5. I know what's supposed to happen. And then it really helps to get me grounded into the scene quicker. And I need that.
So let me ask you, when you're writing, because you have an outline, when you start writing, do you say, I'm going to write chapters 1 and 2, or I'm going to go to this part of the outline and stop? Or do you just write until the inspiration stops?
I write until the inspiration stops. My goal is usually when I sit down, depending on how much time I have. I used to say a chapter a week because I write really slowly.
Okay.
But what I've found is that if I write by hand, I can write much faster.
Oh, okay. So
I can get I can get 2, 3. I mean, I've gotten 5 chapters written in a week, which is like lightning fast for me.
Now, so you write longhand first?
Yes, I will. With the third book, it took me so long because of all these different factors to write the book that I got so frustrated that I just started writing by hand because I could carry a little notebook and a pen around with me.
Okay.
And I just I wrote the second half of the third book I wrote by hand. Wow. And it came out so much faster than me sitting in front of the computer that I think for my son's book, I've written by hand, and also for the romance.
Now,
what I've written by hand. I think I'm probably just going to do that.
I was going to ask you. So, are you finding that you think you're going to write longhand first, just to get the books out, and then just go to the computer and type? Now, when you do that, when you write longhand, because I do too, I write longhand first, and then I go to the computer and type. Do you find that you're either taking something out or putting something in when you do that?
I'm putting some things in because when I'm writing by hand, I don't know if it's like this for you, you're writing so fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just sort of brain to page, and it's a wonderful experience. So sometimes I feel I found out I missed a word that I thought I wrote or something like that. But it feels quite seamless. Doing it that way.
Okay, so I always ask all my guests this. So tell me 2 things that no one knows about you that, as either being as being an author, that's not on your website, so that if we see you out, we'd be like, oh, well, besides that you get your inspiration when you're washing dishes. Besides that, we know that now. So everybody be walking up to you with some dishwashing liquid now. So besides that, what are 2 things that you want to share with us that that no one else knows, but you can tell all of my viewers?
Oh my gosh, 2 things you don't know about me. I'm obsessed with Yoda from Star Wars. I don't know if that's relevant to my writing, but it is relevant to me as a person.
But isn't he that little, small, green, hairy, big-eared, furry, ugly-looking creature?
Yes, Yoda was my first crush. Now, here's what you don't know. Wait, before you judge, Sandra, before you judge. Yoda is very smart, and I dig he is very strong with the Force, and that for a lot. That's all I'm saying. Yoda cook. You remember that? Empire Strikes Back, he's picking up a nice bowl of soup or something. You got a man who'll cook for you, very smart. Knows how to keep the house. These are the important things. See, Sandra, look beyond the green. Look beyond the green.
Ooh.
Good man right there. Good man.
Jesus be a will because no.
Nope,
Hey, but you know what? But looks aren't everything, right? That man can cook, and he's a provider.
He's smart. Like I said, he's really, 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 really smart. He's got a lightsaber. Okay, so yeah,
Not
so
a
we're getting into
lightsaber.
TMI territory. Let me think of one other thing that you need to know about me.
Ooh.
Oh man, if it's between an action flick and a chick flick, I will go for the action movie all the time.
Really? So what's your most favorite action movie?
Oh, I love Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
I love Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm.
I love, oh gosh. Well, I love the Star Wars series. I mean, that's action and sci-fi, but it's also action.
Right. So,
I saw John Wick recently, and it's not one of my favorites. I love Kill Bill.
Okay. And see, you know what? And I hate to admit this on the air, but I think most people know it about me that I have no clue as to the only movie that I recognize that you said was Fast and Furious. Because I don't watch movies. Like I'm not a movie watcher. I don't watch television that often, except for maybe when I was younger, I was watching the daytime soap operas. But other than that, I really don't, unless it's a cooking show. Now, if Yoda comes out with a cooking show, I will be all over that.
Now,
If
he could. He needs to talk. He needs to get a new agent.
He does.
And talk to his management.
Yes.
He could be doing that.
Because cooking shows is where it is right now. Now, I'm just saying, if he could whip up something that's healthy, I'd be watching Yoda. I'd be watching your man crush. Is he a man? I don't really think he's a man, but I don't know. But he's your crush, so that makes it okay. And I want to thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Have you finished your Christmas shopping? It's only 1 week left.
Oh gosh, I have because of Amazon.
Okay. Oh, see,
I have clicked my way to finishing shopping.
She has clicked her way into finishing.
Here's something else to know about. I love shoes like you did. But see, I don't really love shopping twice a year. That's it.
Okay, well, see, I haven't even started. Yeah, and
but see, you love to shop.
I do.
You want to get in there with the people and fight for the last poster.
Oh, no, you know why? Because, see, I shop when they all sleeping. See, I get up. See, I'm an early person. So I can be up, and I will be in the stores at 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nobody there because everybody's still in bed. They waiting for the afternoon. See?
God bless you.
Hey, I can get in when most people are coming to the mall, fighting for a parking space. I go park right in front of the store. I do all my shopping. I'm home. By 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm finished my shopping. So my game plan is to do all of my shopping Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All during the day. Everybody else going to be either asleep, hungover, or at work. So I have a plan, and I will be done by Monday.
God bless you.
See? So I want to thank you for joining me. And if you all are looking for, if you have sci-fiers on your Christmas list, you have to get them these 3 books. You can't get one without the other. I'm just saying, they just like M&Ms. If you got the red one, you got to get the green and the blue one. So you need to get these books by Mr. Cerece, Rennie Murphy. I'm telling you, they are an amazing collection of sci-fi fantasy novels. And I thank you for joining me, and I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Same to you, Sandra. This has been so much fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So as you heard, I had a ball today, and like I said, it's only a week left to shopping, people, and you know, if you haven't got me a gift yet, that's okay, because it's going to be after Christmas sales. You are more than welcome to give me something afterwards. Now, it's never too early to start Christmas, and as you can see, I have a beautiful Christmas arrangement here. I've been drinking my Wicked Dolphin rum from Florida. Listen Vision Live got an award for Best Internet Radio Station for 2014. And you know what? And someone's going to win a gift certificate from Miss Yvette. If you've been tweeting during this show, we be swanging with @Swangin Webster, you're going to be able to get some of these products. And I'm telling you, keep some for yourself, but give some as a gift, because these, honey, when I tell you, it gave me new life. It gave me a new lease on life. I'm just saying. And let's just say that I keep, you know, if you saw me doing this today, that's because I smell so damn good. I'm not even fronting. I smell good. If it was me as a clone, I'd be sitting here hitting my own self up. I'd be like, hey, shorty, what's your name? Can I hold it? Let me get your number. See, because that's how good this smells. It have you talking crazy. Again, it is the holiday season, and let me just say, not everyone is in a holiday spirit. Make sure that those people that, you know, may seem a little withdrawn, that might not be going out, might not have family here, make sure you embrace them, comfort them, talk to them, be that listening ear, because we lost, the hair community lost a beautiful sister, but she committed suicide on December 4th because obviously the pain was too great for her. My daughter lost a real dear friend to her just last week because the pain was too much for him. So suicide is the silent killer. So we want you to be proactive. Listen to those people around you and make sure that even if they have that close-knit family circle, not everyone is listening to them. So take the time and listen. And so I want everybody to have a happy holiday. But you know what? I'm going to be here on Christmas Eve, so y'all got to come back because y'all saw those boots, right? These boots are going to make a repeat performance because I've been a very good girl, okay? So if you stick around tonight, you're going to see Miss Kay Lowry Moore, who celebrated her birthday in Jamaica for the weekend, honey. She was getting it in, and happy birthday, belated birthday to her. And after her, well, at 10 p.m., it's I Now Pronounce You Single and Happy with Sanjo and Mutariq, my two favorite people in the world. They hold it down for the queens and the kings. Thank you for joining me. As you know, every week I'm living a beautiful life. And if you're tweeting today, make sure the tweet contest ends at 5 p.m. It's We Be Swangin' with @Swangin Webster. Someone's going to win that wonderful gift. And so from me and my family, if you're here next week, please join me. I'm going to be here with a little Christmas tree and a little Christmas chair. I got started a little early. So from me to you, have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Happiness, you know, it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
It's not about the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I've got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
A beautiful life.
beautiful life.
Now we all been blessed to be here, so it ain't no need for stress. We don't worry about the things that we can't control. We just pray and hope for the best. You don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need no fancy car. You ain't gotta be famous or a movie star. Just be happy with who you are. You got some food on the table and a place to live, and that's a beautiful life. You got somebody you can love, family and some kids, and that's a beautiful life. You got money in your pocket just to pay your bills, and that's a beautiful life. Just to make it through the struggle and you still be here. Now that's a beautiful life.
Okay, wind me up. DC, stand up. The Godfather, I got you. You spoiling me now. 6 years later, still the talk of the town. I put myself on, and then I put my team on too. Take on my BET. I spilled my drink on hold. Still I believe that, and I mean that. There will be no flow if you ain't sing that tune. We see police run joke. You put DC on first, I put us all on next, and now it's all on me to keep your name on deck. Okay, the Godfather, gotta know that it's not a problem. Been in the pocket like hot tires of Saviata. Praying for a better manana. I hope I'm making you proud. I'ma rep you in honor. Irrefutable spirit. How your music get nearest. When I got that award, it felt like you got this shit with me. Ha. Life's good, still it's getting better. Still pray for Low and Benny. Tell KK hold her head up. A lot have done it, but not too many that done it better. Forget a record.